Hi and welcome to our Festive Tech session. This session is going to be presented on infrastructure as code with Bicep and some pipelines. I'm Simon. I've been doing Azure for around the last 3 years. Currently working at Intercept as an Azure consultant. And this is Gert-Jan.
Hello guys. Thank you Simon. My name is Gert-Jan Poffers. I'm an Azure consultant as well. Also working at Intercept for 9 months now. Been in tech and IT for 20 years now, I think. So being busy. Yeah.
Cool. So the way I think the session is going to work out is we're going to do like some topics around infrastructure as code, why you want to use it, what's good about it, what's bad about it, why it can save you time, and then we're going to do some demos with some infrastructure as code, some Bicep, some Azure DevOps for deploying some AVD, which I know is your speciality. So yeah, I guess like the first question that some people might ask if they've never like used infrastructure as code is what is it? Why do you want to use it? And how is it better than doing ClickOps?
Good question, Simon. I think the best way to describe using IaC is using consistency. So when you do manual deployments, you always have trouble to rewrite the things you deploy. Make errors in naming conventions. You never know what you deployed in the past. So with IaC, you can streamline that a little bit more. Have more consistency, no errors in writing. Yeah, you can make errors in writing, but not. You can fix that with the IaC. And there are a couple of more interesting subjects, such as deploying in other regions as you like with the same context.
Yeah, and I think like another really useful example of using infrastructure as code can be, say you've got like a dev, test, and acceptance environment, and then you want to move to production. When you're using infrastructure as code, if you're deploying it through like AZ CLI, for example, you can just change like the environment type and then deploy straight to it. And then I guess touching on like the demos that we're going to be showing in a bit in terms of like image building. Like I've seen obviously you for preparing for the session for today. There's been a lot of like time invested in that and a lot of ClickOps to get all the Bicep to work. And yeah, I guess has it helped you save time in the long run?
I think so. I think if you use infrastructure as code and also with image deployments or AVD or landing zones, it will always help you if in future projects.
Yeah.
And let's say I have a customer and he needs a landing zone or an AVD environment. I can create it for him, but another customer wants a landing zone, maybe with some different configurations. You only have to adjust the code a little bit. Let's say the location, like you said, if you want to deploy in another location or a different SKU or something like that, you can do it easily. So it will save you time. And if you do it with ClickOps in the portal, you can have the same result, but it will take you it will cost you some frustration, a little more time, because you have to click it over and over and over again.
Yeah,
and you don't have the same frustrations with IaC, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's like one of the really useful takeaways from using like infrastructure as code is it's the repeatability and the productization of stuff. So like you were saying, like the stuff that we've built, which is also publicly available for people to download. We'll put a link in the video for where you can go to get it. It's all done. It's a productized thing. Like you're using it, and we're using it for this demo. So
yeah. And there are a couple of things also in infrastructure as code. What's very nice, because that's the community. I think the community has created AVM, Azure Verified Modules. I think you have heard of the modules as well. It's being maintained and created by the Microsoft community, and that gives you a good start when you want to begin with infrastructure as code. I think if you want to use Bicep, of course, because there are also other tools for using IaC.
And
but in this occasion, I use Bicep.
People are currently using like the deprecated version of the Carmel modules. Like, what's the benefit of moving to the Azure Verified modules over using Carmel?
I think the biggest reason I want to use AVM is that I don't have to download the modules from to my local repository or my local environment. AVM is based on the API, so you can point to them, and if there's a new version, the only thing you need to take a look at is the version and maybe some different deprecation in that version, but it's all managed on the internet.
Cool. Okay. Great. Well, with that all said and done, should we move over to the Azure portal and we'll have a walk around, look at the YAML files that you've created and some of the deployment stuff, and look at getting some deployments running. Do you want to walk us through Gert-Jan and just explain what all the YAML files do inside of VS Code?
Yeah.
And the most important bit, the Bicep files, because without that, nothing will work.
What we are going to do is we will start with the Bicep file. I've created a folder. It's called infra, and there's some Bicep files in it. So, for example, this is my avd.bicep file, and it's based on the Azure Verified modules. How can you see that? That's because of this direction. You know, when you see modules pointing at BR public, AVM, that's an Azure Verified modules. When you use the Carmel custom modules, you will see some directions pointed to your local folder containing also in your own repository. But for now, you can see that I'm using Azure Verified modules. I also use Bicep in a modular way. So in this file, I create a resource group, I create some virtual networks, user managed identity, some shared image gallery to share my template to when I create an image, the image template itself. So it basically comes down, and I will let you see it when I deploy my environment, the different resources. But for now, this is my Bicep file. Also, it's good to mention that you not see a Bicep Bicep param file. There's not that I will normally use without pipelines to set my values in the parameters. I will generate it with my YAML files, and I will show you that later in the pipelines.
Cool.
So in this file, you will see some hard-coded values, and to be honest, normally I will set less hard-coded values in my Bicep files, but sometimes, for testing purposes, I have set some more. But like you see, not that many hard-coded values.
Yeah, I think, like you say, for the role assignment values, they're never really going to change. I mean, I guess they could if you were going to like change the role assignments, but you just create a new one and then assign it as like owner or contributor or a reader, depending on what you would do. Okay, that's pretty cool. So this is obviously all, the local Bicep files. If we want to then deploy this, what does the YAML file look like for the pipeline to run?
Yeah, like you can see, I have a bunch of YAML files already in my environment. But for now, I will focus on the deploy AVD structured YAML file because that's the one. That's the base for your continuation. So, like what you will see in here, I will set some input variables for the pipeline. And I point to a variable group, and in the credentials group, there is containing my tenant ID, my secrets that I can call within the pipeline. Also, you will see that I have some values set in place, and I will show you when I run this pipeline, that I can say, okay, in my base infrastructure, I will set a 2022 data center edition, or I want to use a Windows 11 multi-session edition for Azure Virtual Desktop. Well, sometimes I know if you are using AVD, you want to use a multi-session environment, but sometimes a customer have external users with no business premium licensing. So a 2022 is more fitting for them as well. So
a traditional RDS style deployments.
Yes, and I will. But if you, the nice thing about a pipeline is that you can make it modular, and that you can have something to choose from when you deploy it. So in the same YAML file, you will see some steps. First, a validation step to see, okay, is everything in the beginning of the pipeline stage as it is? If so, continue to the next step. It will install some packages, some needed packages, upgrade the Azure CLI, etc., etc., etc. And it will also do a test login with the service principal containing the pipeline credentials for the service principal. If so, then it will go to the next step and generates and deploys a bicep param file. Again, it will log in and it will have some parameters that gives the values. And these parameters you will see are connected with the parameters or the naming conventions in the avd.bicep file.
Mm-hmm.
And it will generate it, and you can also, and I will scroll a little bit down, you will see also some input values over here, and those input values are connected with the parameters over here. So in the pipeline in the beginning, I can fill in a subnet ID. You will see that it's being parametered. It will create a parameter for that one as well. So I will let you see that in the demo. So that's is the next step. So it generates a bicep param file, and in the last stage it will do the actual deployment.
Cool. Great.
Questions?
Yeah, let's head over then to Azure DevOps and see what it looks like. Green pipeline. That's always a good sign, right?
Yeah, because I cleaned all the error messages. So sometimes
just for the recording, right?
It's just for the recording. I clean everything up. So and I can let you see how a pipeline is created. Because this is all these files are also in my repository. But for now, the pipeline structure looks like this. So if I say, hey, I have deployed infrastructure AVD YAML file, I can say I want to run my pipeline. I wanted to do a deployment type on the subscription. For now, I will fill in my own initials as customer name, the subscription ID we needed, the production environment. I can choose production, acceptance, development, or test. For now, I will set and I will check. It will be the ACC environment. I can choose the location, West Europe or North Europe, and it all depends on the location I filled in the param file. So if other locations are needed, we only have to adjust the bicep file, and I can say, okay, I can fill in a subnet address of a VNet address with a subnet address. This is only for testing purposes, so I don't need to look at the existing ranges. /24. Now here I can say, okay, I want to have a base image Windows 11 or Windows 22. But also, if there's a new version, we can also set it up in the bicep file as well. So, and if I say run, then it will begin his journey in this pipeline.
So what's happening during the validate inputs then? Is it just checking to make sure that there's like any issues or that there's no duplicated names or anything in Azure, or what's happening?
Yes, it checks if the packages and the agents are running on the pipeline, and but basically that's the step for the validation. But I don't, or am I missing something, Simon, in this one? Do you have other? Yeah, I'm just. You can, for example, you can in the pipeline. It basically depends on how you fill in your pipeline. So if you have some extra, so for example, if you want to have some code checking, you can also put that somewhere in the middle of those steps. So it only depends on what you are setting in the validation. So now it is logged in, and it will generate my bicep file. So you'll see all the parameters that are being used to deploy the Azure environment.
And like you said, is this the bicep param file that you're building out within the pipeline?
Yeah. And it's a little bit of both. So it's a little bit generating, it's a little bit of hard-coded. Normally, it's programmable to not hard-coded anymore. So it's totally up to the programmer how he wants it.
And is that based on the input variables that you configured when we initially, when you run the pipeline?
So these are the parameters I've put in manually. Also the AVD and the ACC and the POV. So
no, that's cool. And then at the moment, are you storing those parameter files anywhere else afterwards? Obviously, it logs it into the pipeline history, but the pipeline history is only kept for a couple of days. Or sorry, not a couple of days. A couple of weeks or a couple of months. So I guess if you needed to, you could send that file to a storage account somewhere, or even get it to push back to another brand if you wanted to keep those parameter files.
That's a very good question. You can output it in a file and set it in a different location. Now I use a temporary storage, but it's more like it's like you said. You can do everything you want with it. Because that's the beauty of programming. You can build almost everything. So now it's finished, and it will show you every output for every resource it's created. So now I'm going.
And out of interest, so if you just jump back to that page, so that took under 2 minutes, or just over 2 minutes, depending on which bit you're looking at. But for the actual deployment, though, it only took 1 minute and 45 seconds. If you were doing this via ClickOps to deploy all this stuff, which we're going to go look at now, how long did it take you to do that? Or how long do you reckon it would take you to deploy?
Yeah, it will take longer, and for the resources we are now building, of course, there are not high demanding resources. So, for example, if there's a virtual network gateway in my code right now, then I also need to wait 30 minutes to deploy the virtual network gateway. So the nice thing is that these base resources, for this example, in an AVD environment, you can probably build for many customers of many situations. So that it's time saving when you can reuse it because it's reusable. also in the naming convention. So if you wanted to do it with ClickOps or in the portal, it will always take you time. The portal needs to work with you. So because if the portal is slow, you can also not click the different resources altogether. It will save you a lot of time, Simon.
Cool. Okay. So portal-wise, what have we deployed and built?
Yeah. I've deployed one resource group. That's the AVD ACC one. The other one that is auto-created because of the image template. That is also going away when I delete it. But for now, it's basically the AVD ACC. And what's in it? No, it's an availability set. It's a shared image gallery. It's an image definition. It's the image template to create a custom image. Managed identity, storage account, and the AVD itself with a VNet.
Cool.
So, different resources with different dependencies, all sometimes bound together. So the managed identity has some rights on the image template and on the VNet because he needs to create an image. So lots of stuff.
So if someone takes this YAML file and the bicep file and deploys it, does this mean that they get an image ready to go in the host pools, or is there any other pipelines we might need to run to build an image? Or does this build an image out of the box once it's been deployed?
Now this YAML file only creates the template. If you want to deploy and create the image, you can deploy another pipeline.
Yeah, cool.
And that's the deploy, the deploy create image. So basically, this is the same, and I can show you in my Visual Codem. Let me go here. It basically is the same YAML structure. It installs it had some input variables. It has the same credential group, same parameters for the environment and for the location. But it has some other dependencies and language in it. For example, the first is the validation step. The second is the installation of the packaging step, and then the creation of the image itself. And this image is mainly the trigger to press. When you go to the portal, you need to press the play button for the image template, and then you wait. Now this script is basically doing the same. It will start the image builder process, and it stores it to the shared image gallery. So it will store it to the shared image gallery we have created in the first step. Cool. If you want to make more adjustments to the image itself, you can do it in two ways, or you can put your scripts in the custom image template you created in the AVD environment, or you do it with a manual step.
Sure. And I guess at this point, do we need to caveat and say that people might need to have managed AD in place for this bit to work if they wanted the domain join step to work?
Yeah.
Or can you build the image without domain controller?
You can build the image without an AD controller. Mm-hmm. You can also build it without a domain services or some, because it's the basic virtual image that you are building.
Yeah.
When you wanted to add it to an host pool and you want to have function, I can add it to an host pool without a domain controller, but it will give you an error. So you need a domain controller for that to get it working at full working ability. Yeah.
Cool. Shall we kick off an image build then, and see what
we can do that. Let me deploy the create image. Again, I can say, okay, deployment type sub. I need to find the right information. So it's important that I use the same variables we used in the first step, because based on that it will point to the right image or the right resource group, etc.
Mhm.
So I will point it to the ACC environment, same location, and set run.
Cool.
And then it will go over the validation step. This process will take a little bit longer. The creation of the of the image template itself, it will take 40 minutes. So that's
Okay.
a little bit longer.
Cool.
So again, the validation step. It will install some packages needed for the second job, and then if it's done and if it's checked everything needed to be set in place, then it will continue to the create image step, and that's something we can
Sure.
check.
And I guess if you wanted to customize this image and put like, I don't know, Office in there, Edge, or like Google Chrome, can you do that from inside of the YAML pipeline, or how would we install like custom bits?
Good. That's a very good question. Normally, I would say you could do it both ways. The nice thing of the custom image template is the way that you can do it beforehand. So you can say hey, I want to have all my for example, if you have Office stored in a storage account and you will want to install it during this building process, you need to point your AVD bicep file towards the storage account. And then it will install Office 365 in this process you see now on the screen. This is a building of a basic image, not with any software. You can also, if you don't want that, you can also do that when you add session host to the host pool. Like I said before, and sometimes some people don't want to have the new version of AVD installed, not the multi-session way, but the Windows 11 way, but mainly, like you said, the old school RDS environment. And then you need to have some extra steps and scripts in place after the main joining and the AVD joining of the host pool. So you can also say then, okay, I want to install my Office 365. But the nicest step I prefer that in the first stage. So do it in the custom image template because that's also the reason why Microsoft created this for customization. So yeah.
Cool.
So it will now check and see that there is a process in the resource group. You don't see the output on that, but I think if I do a refresh on this one, you will see. Let me check something. You will see that it's already building because you cannot press on the start button, only on the stop building. And the nicest thing is, that's also the nice thing of a custom image template, is that it spins up. Let me check the first view. So this is the extra resource group he will create when the custom image process is being set in place. So you will see in the background that it spins up different resources, and it will also, when it's finished, it will also clean this up. So don't worry about extra cost or extra resources that you need to, because it's auto create, and it will also auto delete after the process.
Sure.
So
And that's
that's
while it's running the image build process.
Yeah, that's only the image build process. When this image is finished, then it will be stored in the shared image gallery as a new version. So here there will be a new version located in the image gallery.
Cool. Great. Cool. Okay. So we for the sake of time, we paused the recording because I'm pretty sure you didn't want to watch 30 minutes of us waffling and a progress bar going around in circles. Cool. So deployment's done. What have we got?
Yeah, it's done. It takes 29 minutes, like you can see. Keep in mind that it also depends on the resources you are using, because I'm now using a gallery with standard HHD. Sorry for my English. So if you put in some quicker hardware, it will probably the build will probably be a little bit faster. But it now deployed an image version, like you can see. So that's cool. So what we've basically created is an infrastructure with based on an AVD environment or beginning of an AVD environment with a custom image. And now we are ready to deploy some session host, I think.
Cool. So how do we go about deploying a session host then?
Yeah, you need a couple of things. Let's go over to the YAML file. I have a couple of different files in here. I will only show the new VNet. What's the differences? The one is the one is to connect or add the session host to existing VNet. So if you want to deploy in an existing environment and you want to connect an existing VNet, then you can you have some different values needed. That's in this YAML file, and this I can use to deploy in the VNet we have created with the AVD bicep code. So basically the same values, and it needs to be the same because it needs to be connected to the session host. So and the parameters are based on reusable code. So that's also the reason why. But the names must be the same. So it will check the image gallery for an existing and latest image version. It will create a VM and it will install some AVD agents. And because this is a 2022 version, it needs to have a terminal server role as well. So it will do that. Installs that. It will generate a registration key for the host pool. And at the end, it will add some register settings in the agents we have installed, also in these steps, and it will reboot the server, so it's been added to the host pool. So
nice, cool. So if we trigger this pipeline, and how long will this one take to run roughly?
I think this will take between the 10 and 10, 15, 10, 12, 30 minutes, or something like that, because of the roles needs to be installed after the adding of the host file. So I will start it and we will see.
Cool. Okay.
So it's the same input fields. We just need to point to the right customer. It is a dev environment, or sorry, an ACC environment, and you can also put in the SKUs you want. For this one, I did a default one. It's a series you don't want to use for AVD, but it's for testing. So and you can also place a number in the numbers of VMs to create. So if you want 10 VMs, please fill in 10, and it will deploy 10 VMs.
Cool.
Let's run it.
Okay, great. And we'll be back in 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, but because of the first run, we need to give it permissions, the pipeline. So let me do that. So now it will go into run.
Yeah, nice. Great. Yeah, we'll be back shortly.
So welcome back.
Yeah.
So you can see in my screen that it takes rather rather quick for one machine. And if you multiply it with the machines you want to create, then you have a little bit of an estimation how long it will take to add some virtual machines to a hospital automated. Let's go over to the job. Like I said, it will install packages, it will log in, and it will create the virtual machine. It will install some ADS roles on the virtual machine. It will install the AVD agent and bootloader, and it will generate the tokens and add them to the virtual machine. Give it a reboot because it's needed afterwards. And if we go over to the host pool itself, then you will see a total machines of 1. And it has the health status unavailable because it has no domain control. So that's something we didn't deploy in this time. But you see that it's relatively easy to create an infrastructure using IaC, deploy it with a pipeline with different stages. And these pipelines are individual. You can also connect them together, make it a one big pipeline, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, that's basically it.
Cool. Nice. And I guess the last thing then to just share before we wrap up is if anyone wants to have a go with these pipelines that we've created today, or sorry, you've created, where can they find them and which Git repository are they hosted in?
I think we can share it in the chat as well, but it's I think the poffers.cloud. GitHub repository.
Yeah.
I will share it on my screen. Let me wait. On Poffers Cloud bicep image automation, you can have all the YAML files and the infrastructure ready if you wanted to play with it. Keep in mind that I'm also busy adding new YAML files. I'm currently busy to capture and create some snapshots before the capture to create new image versions as well. So please keep that in mind. And that's the location. Yeah.
Cool. Great. Well, I think that's it then. We're done.
I think so. Thank you very much for your attention. And thank you, Simon.
Thanks. See you later.
Bye.